What's up, boxing family? We are Slip Encounter Podcast. We're at the Kenichi Studios. My name is BINK. I'm here with my brother, JR the Golden Boy. How you feeling, bro?
Baby? Feel good. Tired.
Feeling good, feeling
But
tired.
Let's do this, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So today, yeah. Oh, damn. We good. We good.
You
Right.
got to hit mute.
Forgot to hit mute on the computer, but look, we good. We gonna rock out. You know what I'm saying? Look,
good, man.
today we got for y'all, we got some controversy in the boxing world, right? With Ryan Garcia coming off his victory against Javier Fortuna. We got Tank coming off a phenomenal victory. It seems Ryan Garcia got Tank name in his mouth a lot. You know what I'm saying? And with this, it brings a lot of controversy because you got Floyd Mayweather and his beef with Oscar Delahoya. You know how that goes way back to when they fought. We got Ryan Garcia, who signed with Oscar Delahoya with Golden Boy Promotions. You got Tank Davis, who signed with Floyd Mayweather at Mayweather Promotions. How does this mix? How do you see this playing out in the future?
I just find it strange all of a sudden he want to call Tank out now. I mean, now you can't make 35. Now you can't do this. Now he has to come to 40. Yes, Tank has been at 40, but now it's this big thing. You want to call this kid out now when you had all this ample amount of time when really, to be honest, Ryan isn't fulfilling all of his talent. Everybody done passed him now. Tank done passed him. Devin done passed him. Who else done passed him now? About everybody. Teofimo done passed him. All these guys done passed him now. So, and then that's why he said what he said with Akin Barak about the whole thing about, oh, the belts don't matter. All it matters is about this fight or whatever. He knows the mistakes that he's made. But now you want to try to cash in. And two, he's making so much money outside of the ring.
Right.
It basically adds up to a fight purse to do nothing. So I just find it, I don't know if he's going to do, kind of reminds me a little bit of Jerry Cooney. So Jerry Cooney didn't do a lot of talking. But Jerry Cooney, when he fought Larry Holmes, after he lost that fight, he didn't fight that often after that.
Mm-hmm.
He had a couple comeback fights, fought, but he really didn't want to be there no more. And then he called it a career. Now I wonder, is that his thing? But he'll never say that. But I don't know. But
I mean, in his defense, he has been calling out Tank for a minute. I don't know if there was a lot of substance behind the call out, but he has had Tank's name in his mouth. You know what I'm saying?
So what you think gonna happen with that?
Him and Tank, if they actually get in the ring, or him calling out?
Yeah, if they was to really, if Luke Campbell caught him with his head pulling up, and this boy keeps doing this, instead of doing this and controlling the kid's head and moving him, or making him hit his forearm or whatever, blocking him this way, he's pulling up with his chin up. You think Tank ain't gonna get up under that, and then all of a sudden,
easily,
he's gonna hurt that boy.
But I feel like he did tighten up a little bit with Joe Guzman.
What?
A little bit. Since his last performance, with his fight, when he just fought Javier, he got a little better. He tightened up a little bit. I ain't saying he did a complete 180, but I saw slight changes in his game.
What was the changes?
He used his jab more this fight. He was a little bit more defensively sound in this fight. I mean, Javier wasn't really giving him nothing offensively to be defensively against, really. So it's kind of hard to really get a good gauge. I like to see him in there with at 140. Josh Taylor.
Take him in the deep water and drown him.
You think so?
Josh Taylor them in there with some monsters and then took them boys in deep waters. Of course, you do wonder if Josh Taylor were to fight somebody like Ryan. Okay, has Josh been in one too many wars?
Right.
Like a Kevin Kelly effect type of thing. Like,
right.
Has he been in too many wars? Things like that. But take that boy in deep water and drown him at 40.
I mean, I feel like Josh, his last fight against Catterall, I think he lost that fight.
Yeah, he lost that fight.
He
Straight up,
didn't even look that good for real.
He didn't look sharp at all. He looked drained a little bit, yes. And that's what I was just about to say. Ryan better pay that he drained. You better pray that boy, if he was to fight Josh, you better pray that boy drained on fight night.
So let me ask you this about Ryan. What thing does Ryan do good in the ring?
He has a gifted left hook.
Right.
I can't, like, that, the way he just naturally can just whip the shot with speed, with power. The only problem is sometimes the way he throws it, you could tear. As you remember, me being with the Russell, I saw them tear this all to have surgeries on this and everything.
Mm-hmm.
He has a natural reflexes, but he only goes one. It's almost like the Amir Khan effect, except for Amir Khan had slightly better fundamentals. But the problem with Amir Khan was he went one speed. Like, for instance, my dad or different coaches I've been around say, yo, change the speed on stuff. Change the speed on this. Don't give him the same look. Especially you get to the top amateurs, top pros, do not give them the same look. Because if you do, somebody like, you saw what happened to Amir Khan, he would come in, it was always 5 to 8 punch combination. Move. Right. Hop back in. Hop out. Hop back in. Another 5 to 8 punch combination. And what did guys start doing? Stop being nervous, catch, and then throw something in between. And it will hurt him. Then you got with Virgil, Coach Virgil had started slowing him down, making him mix up 1s, 2s, and 3s, every now and again, 5s and 8s. So with Ryan, you wonder that same thing. He still lifts his chin up. He still whips his hook in a way where it's like, man, you don't want to get caught with it because that when he hits you, it's like a whip. You can see how he whips it.
It's a crack at the end of the whip. Yeah.
God. But you worry about also the Roy Jones effect with him. He don't. When you lose your reflex or you lose a little bit of skill, you played at a high level. At a certain point, if you had an injury, you had to sometimes fall back on fundamentals, right? And that carried you through until you healed, right?
Right.
In boxing, you lose your reflexes. If you don't, that's when you learn if a dude really know how to fight. Because now his reflexes is gone. Some of his speed is gone. Now it's, okay, can he fundamentally sound box? Does he know how to do a C pattern? Can he know how to get out of these situations? Can his jab get him to where he want to go and get him out of trouble? All these things. And I don't think Ryan can do that. I'm sorry, I hate to say it like that, but
I hear what you're saying. So you giving him what chance out of 10? 1 out of 10. What chance you give him against Tank? Honestly, keep it a buck.
And because you already know, because I've grown up in the amateurs with Tank, so I don't want people to, oh yeah, he grew up in the amateurs with Tank. He's gonna
just
say
keep
that.
It a buck.
Tank hurts that boy. This is what happens. Tank takes his time. Immediately starts to walk forward, tries to slide in, see the time, catch the timing on things. Goes back to the corner, and you know how the DMV fighters are. Their coaches sit in Ohio, New York, different. This whole region. Sit you down on that stool. After 2-3 rounds, what we worried about? Anything we need to worry about? Is he hitting you? Anything that we got to be worried about that makes you hurt or anything that makes you buzzing? Nah. All right, stay aware of that hook. I can hear Calvin and Kenny now. Man, right. Stay aware of the hook. Man, walk this boy down. Let's go home. We got places to go. Walk this boy down. Don't take another step backwards, man. Break this kid down. And then once Tank starts coming forward, it's way more exhausting to be dog tired. It's better to be dog tired and walk a dude down, trying to catch up to him, because all you're doing is stepping to the side, keep walking. It's like doing road work again. But when you dog tired and a dude staying on top of you, and you gotta keep getting them off.
Right.
And if Tank gets, if the microphone is Tank head, and he gets right here, and he goes from the bottom up,
it's over with. I hear what you're saying. Let me ask you this. Tank was recently saying in one of his interviews, probably about earlier in the year, he was saying he likes to feel the power of his opponents. Do you think it's worth it? Do you think it's risky for him to go in there against Ryan Garcia with that crazy left hook that he got, that whips and cracks like it do, and try to feel that power just to see what he got?
All right. Which camera am I in?
Either one.
All right. To the people who had something to say about that, oh, I can't believe Tank said it. Tank an animal. No, that's how you're taught. Okay. So when you fight, because people be blowing me, bro. Okay.
Talk about it. Do your thing.
When you come out, the first thing you want to do is pick the dude's shot. I don't care who you are, I don't care who you in there with. Even if the dude's known to be a bricklayer, you walk out, you might feint him, deep breath, feint him, walk to the right, step, go back to the left, pick that shot, let it immediately. When it goes here and you catch it, you know, okay, if this if this dude can crack with his jab, like, oh, I don't want to get hit with that right hand. Let me step this way.
Nah, for sure.
But it's kind of like you have to know what you're dealing with, because then you know, okay, oh, his jab's not that strong, but he probably pulling off, okay, this guy has a lot of speed, or this guy, you have to be able to see reflexes. That's why you see guys, they sit, or when you saw me spar time, pick, and I'll pull, pick, and I'll pull, and I'll walk on them, pick, slide, and I'll go back here.
Right.
You gotta see what you're dealing with first. You have to. Because next thing you know, you underestimate, then you underestimate them, next thing you know, you get caught with something stupid.
Right.
Because then you gotta also know, okay, see, when he touch, all right, is he rocking me to sleep?
Mm-hmm.
Rocking me to sleep, like, okay, he changing the speed on, then he throw a shotgun jab. Like, oh, wait a minute, and I don't feel like a lot of power. Next thing you know, boom, you drop something hard on you, like, oh my God, you trying to get it together? So you have to know what you're dealing with. That's normal. You're taught to walk out there and see what you're dealing with first.
Right.
You ain't just taking the shot, but you picking, you might pick. It could be anywhere. You might catch it here on the shoulder, you might catch it on the chest, you might catch it. What Lucas, look, go back and look at what Mr. Zab said when he fought Lucas Matiza. He said, oh, okay, this guy, strong. All right, I can outbox him. All right, I'm probably not gonna stop him. All right, if I catch him clean, oh, he cool. All right, cool, 12 rounds. He said he went out there with Lucas Matiza. This is when Lucas Matiza was the machine, was stopping everybody.
I remember.
He said, God looked this junk up. He said he got hit. He was like, he picked it. Huh? Well, threw it again, and it went to his chest. Well, feinted. Picked it again. Said, man, what the f is in his gloves, y'all? He's like, oh no, I'm staying away. You ain't touching me. He knew, all right. Then when he went to the 6th round, he realized, oh, this dude still got that same power. All right, just keep circling him. We ain't staying in front of him. We're not going to try to slide in it, walk him down. We're going to let him come in, touch, move. You know, so that's what Tank meant. That's mostly what you taught, because you got to know what you're dealing with.
I got you. In my mind, I'm flashing back to Ryan Garcia versus like Duno and Fonseca with those glancing shots that seem to take their whole equilibrium away. You know what I'm saying? He got that kind of power. And just to look at him now at 140 with the body, the frame of his body now, how wide his back is, you know, his muscle development, he's actually maturing into his body, his power. I think he still has more power he could add into his arsenal. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I'm looking at it like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
But from my point of view, as a boxer, I've never been in the ring, but from my point of view, I'm looking at it like, if I'm Tank, I want to go in there and I want to be smart. I don't want to play with this kid, because if all he got to do is really touch me, he could possibly buzz me or put me in a situation I don't want to be in early. You feel me?
I'll put it like this. I wonder, does Ryan hit harder than Pat? Than some of the guys that Tank done sparred or fought? I wonder, does he hit harder? Like, I put it like this. And you know, so I don't look like I'm Ryan bashing. If I'm Ryan's trainer, and you know Goosen is a legend, people just know him because of Diego, because of the great Chico Corrales, but no, his family has been around
He got a crazy resume.
forever. Oh my goodness. Like, and they are walk down, they knock out guys.
Yeah.
And he has a relationship with Goosen since a child, which is why he went back, I believe. It's no different than where I was with Jared going to Uncle Nesto. It's a baby, so it's like so. But if I had Ryan, I'm making him do jab drills. If we're in talks of that conversation with Tank, and we might get that deal signed, jab drills. And I'm making him shoot it at every angle. Everybody hears me say this all the time in videos. He got those long arms. He's getting stronger. You can see his build spreading out. His whip is still there, and he didn't lose no speed on the whip at all. So what if he just sit there and starts? Because you got to think, Tank is walking this way, and Tank may pull a shell. He's walking, so a lot of that hook may rock off. So you got to try to catch Tank with that hook when Tank pulls or slides in or goes here, slides, whatever, pulls or whatever. I'm telling him, soon as Tank walks this way and he gets anywhere near chest level, you already know Tank gonna be looking at his chest like I'm gonna go here, then I'm coming up. You should start hitting him, wow, shooting him here, wow, shooting him here, and don't stay there. Count 3 seconds in your head or count 2-3 punches in your head and move.
Right.
Don't stay in front of Tank. Make Tank have to, especially if Tank walking down, make Tank have to set up. Make Tank have to reset his feet over and over again. Keep shooting the whip, keep shooting the whip. Hook off the jab. Another whip, boom, boom. Send it and then try to make him go back this way. And even though he's not known for his right hand, drop the right hand on him to make him, because we already know the hook is what he's going to worry about.
Right.
So what if you can make him fall asleep with all of this, boom, hitting him in the shoulder, chest, working the jab with all these different angles, going to the top of the head with the jab, all these different places, and shoot the, okay, stay away. And Tank does this. If he goes from here to here, next thing you know, maybe walking to the another right hand coming this way.
No, for sure.
If that's Ryan's best thing, but I just don't see him change. I see him being him.
Right. I feel like Tank is very underrated defensively.
Heck yeah.
A lot of people ain't really seen what he can do. We've been in the gym with him. Like we've seen him work. You know what I'm saying? So we know what he capable
that boy
of.
work since he was 8, 9 years old.
Yeah.
I remember I'm a novice. He's a junior. When he was a novice, I'm moving up. I'm like 19 now.
Right.
So I remember when he fought DeAndre Hawkinson. Shout out Zinky in New Jersey. When he fought Pat, he fought so many guys. And in the amateurs, it's different from the pros. You gotta, and everybody know this 495, 270, 210, them highways, it's dangerous. You ain't, even when you turn pro, a lot of these guys why you think Jared never really had a lot of sparring partners? Because all of them came up from the amateurs. We all came up in the amateurs together, and everybody was in the top 15. So it's like, you ain't really got to go pay for sparring partners like that. So watching Tank come up, I've seen Tank slip and slide on guys. I've seen, because you got to think, you in there with guys like Pat, Nuke. I don't know if he's sparred Nuke, my bad. But I know just the different guys that he's been in the ring with that's fast, quick, just so many guys. You right here. Same space, me and you, and it's pulling. Oh God, I gotta get the points. Sliding, blah, blah. And I'm just seeing him make guys at high speeds look bad. He's not. Don't get me wrong. He's not. Like for instance, guys ain't gonna know this name, but Quick. Yeah. Like, rest in peace, Quick. Guys are slick as ice water, like Quick. But he can move. He has good vision, good timing, good instincts. Like when he fought the kid and I forget this kid's name. The kid could fight. I think his name was Nunez or something like that. He fought him in Baltimore when he had the black and orange on and sold out the hometown crowd.
I remember that. Yeah.
When Tank walked up and he pulled under, if this is the kid, the microphone's this kid. He heard the kid do this, and you've heard me tell you about this. Boom, and then he dropped the hook on him. Once he heard him relax, he came over top and he jumped on him.
Yeah.
And he said on Bring Breakfast Club, yeah, the kid could fight, but he made an early fight mistake. He was too close to him, and I heard him relax. When you relax, you're taught to, after each sequence, or you in the clinch, you got him locked up. Walk him, relax. And like you take a deep, or you back out. Or like how Berto said, Floyd would go back off. He heard him like, pow, and he dropped him. That was good instinct. Cause some guys don't punch in clinches. It's not as simple for some guys. Some guys, they get in clinch and they just stop.
Right.
And they take time off. That was real smart of him to do that.
I got you. Let me ask you this then. If we get the fight at 140, who has the advantage? Get the fight at 135, who has the advantage? In my opinion, the fight at 140, that weighs heavily in Garcia's favor. You get it at 135, I feel like Tank got the advantage there. How you feel about that?
That's a good question. Because now Tank is sitting at 30 and 35, more keeping his body there more. I mean, If this was a year and a half ago when Tank was bouncing up and down,
Mhm.
I'd say Tank, because he would probably be like, oh yeah, I could eat more and all that, yeah, whatever. And you still might could say that, but if Ryan is getting bigger and stronger, like you can visually see, like him and
Right.
Shakur, like, look at them when they turn
telling
pro,
you.
and look at them now.
They
It's
turn
like
into
from
grown men.
here to
They turn
here.
into grown men.
You know,
For real.
but I could see, I would probably give it to, I could honestly give it to Ryan at 40 when it comes to a slight weight, stronger advantage, consistency advantage there, maybe. You know, but he got to use it right, and he's not gonna use it right.
Right.
I bet you amount of money right now if you take Ryan. Certain coaches will play off of fighter strengths, correct?
Mhm.
But the worst thing in boxing is sometimes you don't know when fighters know their own mistakes,
Right.
and they read their own headlines. Like, you got to have an ego to be a fighter, and that was one of my difficulties because I was humble to a fault sometimes. But you have to sometimes have it. You have to have an ego to do this sport. Like, okay, I know I have to come. I could do this, but you also have to have the humility to say that's one of my weaknesses. I got to get sharp on. You know, like, people was praising me in that sparring video, and like, because you know, and Drew's coming along.
Yeah.
And he's been since he's a little kid, but I'm like, nah. And I'm watching the video. People, you saw all the comments, man. You first day back, you look sharp. I'm like, yeah. So somebody said, yeah, but his father see 100 mistakes. Shout out hard work, but Ryan's not gonna. I doubt if Ryan's working on weaknesses in the gym. I just don't feel like that.
I've never seen him work on his weaknesses. Or at least he don't
It's
post it on social
always the
media.
same thing. Wah,
The reflex bag.
Now, of course, you're not gonna show everything, but at the same time, even in his fights, do anybody in here see this dude? People viewing you, answer this one question: do y'all see Ryan becoming a complete pro? Go in the comments, tell me later. I don't care. Do any of y'all see Ryan becoming, since he's turned pro to now, a better complete pro? And ask if you feel that Tank, Teofimo, or Devin, all these guys, are they becoming better complete professional fighters?
I'm gonna give him some credit. He's gotten better, but he's not complete.
Of course, he's
You know
not.
what I'm
I'm not
saying?
saying he got to be complete. What I'm saying is, does he know how to work in a clinch? Does he know how to bend his knees?
You talking about the intricacies of the sport.
Yes,
the
like
small things, the things that go unnoticed. I got you.
Yes, like,
I see what you're saying.
bro, okay. The gloves. You want shout out J-Rock. We know how to use oh my God, that boy, any glove he wear, he know what he could get away with a glove and what he can't get away with. For people who don't know, when it's, for instance, Red's gloves, crack gloves, but it's not that good of a defensive glove. Like, it's not a lot here and it's not a lot here to help protect. And you already have to adjust in your mind because you're working with 14s and 18s in the gym. So something that you might do here, like with Luis Ortiz, if you look when he got stopped against Deontay Wilder, he put his hand in the right spot. But if it was sparring gloves, he would have caught it easily. Early in the fight, he caught it easily. But in between, it caught him right in between, and that puts him down. Does Ryan been working with Grants now? Before first he had Adidas, then he worked with Everlast a little bit, then he did basically Grants, and then no boxing, no life gloves, and back to Grant. Does he know, especially with Grant, he could get away, he could crack, and there's a bar like Power Lock, there's a bar right here where you could really block. Grants, there's a good lock right here where you could sit there and catch stuff on a hard wrist, all these different things. Bet you he doesn't. The little thing is, okay, this guy trying to get up under my jab and he's trying to drop his weight on me. Okay, let me go ahead and let him walk me. Okay, yeah, leave your weight on me. Oh, pivot, boom, boom, and let him throw his hook. Let Ryan shoot that hook. Like, man, can you imagine if somebody gets stupid with Ryan and think they're going to walk him down and slide up under him, and Ryan just all of a sudden, well, I got to do it this way, but y'all know he right-handed, but boom, he let, all right, now I'm going to lock him. Oh, God, he leaning on me. Okay, leaning on me. Short. And he shoots this way, boom, and shoots that same way.
And you got to worry about it to the body, too.
Oh, my.
To the body.
If he bend his knees and thought, oh, my God.
That's what I'm
that'd
saying.
be something pretty.
That's what I'm saying.
God.
So when I'm looking at this fight, man, in my opinion, I see this fight probably ending in a knockout. I feel like it might end in a knockout with a body shot. Who you think got the most vicious body shot between Tank and Ryan? They've both shown vicious body knockouts. I was going to say Tank too. Going to it.
Because I've worked on the heavyweight beside Tank. I've seen Tank in the gym. I've seen, which I already know. Shoot, anyways. So Tank knows how to shift his weight. He's gotten better at shifting his weight, gotten better at shooting shots through the target. And a lot of times, especially with the way he's built and getting up under you, and you gotta think some of the shots he's gonna throw, he ain't gotta aim at your hip, but he might hit Ryan in the hips. Imagine that wearing on you. Just a few straight right hands, stab here. Then all of a sudden, a few of them hit his hip. All of a sudden, now Ryan, who's already like this half the time, now he really stagnant, can't move. And he's on the inside, and he pulls and moves Ryan's glove just enough or whatever. It moves his head up. Boom, and starts shooting. Boom. Oh, no. And I don't think Ryan is going to be disciplined enough to take that quarter step, take that half step, take a look, see what's going on, shoot stuff back, or grab him and put his glove in Tank face. Do it until the referee say stop. Yeah. Like, okay. Or when he in the clinch with him, man, push that short man head down. Like, drop that junk on him. Like, stop.
Right, until the ref make you stop.
Break. All right, and then you break off.
Yeah.
Little stuff like that. Or putting the glove in, right, like, this is Tank's head. And I'm sitting there, feigning him. Doing that just enough. Then all of a sudden, now purposely. And then, right, all right, that's enough. Watch the glove. Okay, all right, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do that no more. But I'm going to do this.
No, for sure. Tank do that well too, though.
Yes.
Tank does that very well.
It's it's so much potential.
Bruh, Ryan got. But I gotta play devil's advocate. We can't both be here going for Tank, talking about Tank. Somebody gotta play devil's advocate. Okay, I gotta be Skip Bayless for a little bit.
I'll be the devil's advocate, bro. It's so much stuff that boy could be nice at. Yeah. And it pisses me off watching him because. And I guess because of the different guys I've been in the gym with, I was forced to have to learn other things. Like, go look at what Andre Ward said about training one day. He hated doing inside work. Hated it. And Virgil he'll finish his workout. Virgil go put on the body bag. He's like, man, why we gotta keep doing this, bro? Yeah. I don't like this. And Virgil's like, no, because you don't like it and you feel uncomfortable doing it. Yeah. So now we're gonna keep doing it until you're comfortable. So when you get in these big fights, and one of these guys like, you know what, we're gonna get inside and see if we can muscle this kid. You able to stay calm, work the angles, don't pay. Cause some guys panic when they get on the inside, especially if they got long arms like me. They sometimes they panic. Yeah. Instead of just catching, slide here or whatever. Or if he's really tight on you and you giving up this in between. Instead of being here, you might swim his head over, pop, shoot it over. Now I'm here on my shoulder and I can do this, or I can, not want to hit the mic, but throw my shoulder and back you off. Now I can breathe. Got this bam off.
No, for sure. Let's take this fight out of the ring real quick. Let's take it out of the ring. So, there's been controversy with both promotional companies, with Mayweather Promotions and GOLDENBOY Promotions. What effect does that play in this fight? How does that play into this? Does this fight even happen? We talking about it, but does this fight even happen?
Ego-wise, I doubt it. Right. I mean, okay. It's going to be a lot of petty junk going on. But I did find it quite peculiar that I probably got to check it or whatever, but I think it was earlier this week. The great Oscar De La Hoya was giving praise to Floyd, and he might have sincerely been saying that. He might have sincerely, because be honest with you, fighters may have beef, but you in your heart know, oh yeah, that guy can fight, or that guy, whatever, things like that. And basically, what Floyd did with Oscar, he took what Oscar did by leaving Bob Arum and doing what he did, and took it and made it his. Because remember, Oscar already had GOLDENBOY Promotions by then. Yeah, he's already doing his thing. Floyd just compounded it. So why are you all of a sudden giving Floyd all of this praise?
I know why.
This, it's ironic, right? Like, this week when there's so much talk about can they make that fight happen and they got to sacrifice this, sacrifice that. Now you do it. Yeah. That's my thing. Now, I got some points I'm going to say about, but I want to hear what you got to say first.
Man, look, when I was playing ball, I was playing wide receiver, right? My coach would say, you want your quarterback to throw you the ball, you got to stroke his ego a little bit. He's like, no homo, but you got to stroke his ego.
That's unfortunate.
Hey, man, good day of practice. Hey, you threw some good balls today, man. Great job. And then you get into the game, and you out here like this, and now you got 8, 9 passes a game. You know what I'm saying? You got to put some butter on that biscuit. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
So if he want to get this fight with Mayweather, he got to, because you know Mayweather love himself. So you gotta put some butter on that biscuit. You know what I'm saying? Hype him up a little bit.
Okay, then. So what do you think? How does that contract negotiation go? It's not going to be 50-50.
It's not going to be 50-50.
Damn sure ain't doing that, and that's the sad part. Right. They're not going to do that.
Definitely not going to be 50-50.
But what is?
Tank will definitely be the A side.
Yeah,
probably
played himself out
right. It'll definitely be on Showtime, but I feel like I heard Oscar say he wanted the fight to be on DAZN too.
No, I heard Oscar say he wouldn't mind co-promoting.
Yeah, co-promoting, right, and to be shown on Showtime and DAZN at the same time. Like, how do you even work that out? You know what I'm saying? We gotta get some promoters in here to teach us the game some more. Talk about that. Part more.
It's easy yet difficult. From what I've been told, it's easy but yet difficult. So you're basically mixing. You know how Jim Lampley and HBO used to go over to Vladimir Klitschko fights or David Haye fights over in England, and they had to play second fiddle to Sky Sports. So a lot of times when Jim Lampley and them would be talking, and they would in any other show go, all right, and here we go, and they start coming out the entranceway. Jim Lampley would say, like, we usually will be getting going by now, but right now we are still waiting on Sky Sports, who is the parent company of this promotion, for the fighters to then come out. Right. And so you're basically going to be combining, you know, who's going to lead this, who's going to be this, so everybody can get a share. Brian Custer going to do this part, right, and then Akim Barat's going to do this part, and right, Sinisa and Sergio do this part. Just so everybody can eat. And my thing is, I'll probably try to look more into the promotional part, how they could do it, and talk to some of the fighters that I know who've been around it, like the fighters around my dad era when they were pros around that Mike Tyson, not Holyfield, but Lennox Lewis thing. Like, I'll talk to them next time and see, because it seems like we're going to come back to this topic. Oh, for sure. So hopefully I'll know more about them, but let's go to the fighter for fighter part, and let's just do the bases. Somebody's somebody gonna say, "Nah, we ain't doing no 50-50. We doing 60-40. That's gonna cause a problem. Then you gotta wonder the petty stuff, like, nah, you ain't coming out first. I'm coming out first. Yeah, that petty mess. Then you gotta wonder, all right, you ain't wearing them gloves. That the gloves shouldn't be a problem because they both wear Grants 9 times out of 10, or Tank will wear winning. But, and you know how Floyd is, he wants him to wear Grant probably because all of his fighters wear Grant because he probably getting paid off of every percentage he gets a fighter to wear him or whatever, and they feel great anyway. Only a few fighters that I know didn't like them. My hands are tiny, so when I put them on, they felt good. But some guys didn't like them. They liked the Power Lock better because Grants are kind of shaped like the old 80s glove, where it's just straight boom, and like Power Lock kind of got a little more of a like that, whatever, kind of like a V. But it could get that funky and be like, man, you not wearing those gloves. You gonna have to wear it like how Oscar did Floyd. You ain't wearing that. You gonna wear these. Right. But what did Floyd do though? He took it on the back end because he knew he believed in himself. He could win the fight. True. I mean, but I'm just going over like how base, like the base. It could be that funky. Like it could be, all right, cool. We gonna do a 55-45 split, but I'm being nice by saying 55-45. That's way generous, for real. Because to be honest, like I said, everybody in them pass right. We talking about Tank fighting Devin or fighting Shakur, some of those things. You can honestly say, well, all right, we negotiated 55-45 because both of these guys, or 50-50 because both of them, but Ryan kind of done played itself out a little bit to where you like, man, you gonna take this 40. So cool, you take the 40, but now, Bing, you Ryan, I'm Tank. All right, now we gotta negotiate the percentage of the gate, the pay-per-view buys, and the merchandising and licensing.
No, that's facts.
How much percentage of that you think he gonna give Ryan? You ain't bringing nothing to the table but your pretty face. Like, I could hear that now. Man, you ain't bringing nothing up here but your pretty face, man.
You made a good point though, bro. You made a real good point. There's way bigger fights out there than Ryan Garcia and Tank, as far as boxing, that we would like to see.
Yes.
But when you talk about like the pay-per-view value, I feel like this is only getting so much attention because of the clout around both of these fighters. They have big names in the casual world almost. You know what I'm saying? I would love to see Tank getting there with Lomachenko or Devin or somebody like that. Tiafimo.
This is where the game turns a little bit. In this fecal game of ours, what BINK just said happens all the time. You might have a guy, I never forget, a promoter told me, I'm not gonna say his name. He said, Junior, we don't worry about guys like you, your father, BINK, Mr. Wolf, Kenichi. We don't worry about y'all. Y'all hardcore fight fans. Y'all gonna watch a fight. Fight come on, you gonna watch it.
Say that.
We trying to get the casual dude who don't really watch boxing like that, but like it. He take his girl to the fight that night.
Yeah.
Those celebrities that don't mind paying the 4 figures or 5 figures for ringside seats. And that's just the gate. Now we trying to get these green turtles and all these different places to buy this fight. Trying to get these casuals who want to have a beer, who unfortunately, the names that I just mentioned, and as y'all hear me too, for the people who don't know me, who are going to be watching this the first time to see, I come from old school trainers where the little things that you learn and try to do in this game, I'm watching it for that. Like one of the youngs that I'm really high on, this kid named Kenichi. I love watching this kid see pattern. Love watching his see pattern. He come from No Excuse Gym, where that gym has one of the best see patterns you can ever watch. But I watch it for that. You want to get the people who just want to see somebody get hurt. You're trying to get, that's what it's about. And when you're dealing with somebody like Ryan, Tank selling out spots. Tank was already selling out stuff when he was fighting at Showplace. Yeah. Like a lot of people, he didn't sell out Showplace, but this Jared was on the card. Jared was fighting Greg Hackett. That was his first main event fight. And I was with Jared, but I was also with Greg Newby, retired undefeated local fighter, regional fighter, was really good and made the choice to lead the game before his time. I was scouting his next opponent on that card. Tank fought on that card. Kevin Rivers fought on that card. Tank had a lot of people who drove up from Baltimore to go to Showplace Arena
people
to
love
watch
Tank. Everybody in Baltimore love Tank.
So, and now, and people don't mind taking that drive to New York, to the Barclays or whatever, whether it's one night or a whole weekend to watch him. And now you got so many people. It's like when Floyd started to get older and people thought Adrian Broner was going to, but Adrian Broner had the sell factor and he in mind fighting anybody. But with Tank, he also fighting anybody and beat spectacular fashion. Right. You know, so, and with that, it's making it, Tank fighting, we all gonna go, or we all gonna have a fight party or whatever. And with Ryan, it's the Oscar Delahoya thing all over again. But the difference is Oscar had the goods. People was hating on Oscar a lot when he was, and downplaying. But now since he's retired, people respecting him more, like because he fought like, so many guys. When you look at the guys he fought,
the resume crazy.
Yeah, like he had. And remember, there's no social media. Girls lined up, but I mean, brothers trying to fight him because they mad that they sisters want it, and he'll walk away, like stuff like that. This is in high school. Right. Then turning pro, and Manuel Stewart said, the story, he was like, man, I walked out, and it took us about 15 minutes for a 2-minute walk. And we got up to the hotel room, and Oscar says, let's go out there and do it one more time. Yeah. That's Ryan right now. Like the Jason Velez fight. Yeah, it was mostly females at that fight.
No, for real.
It's mostly like, so that's the casuals you want.
No, for sure. With this fight, right, in my opinion, is volatile. I don't know if I see this fight happening this year, right? So for Tank, who do you see him realistically fighting if it isn't Ryan Garcia this year?
Who do I see him fighting at the end of this year?
Because I feel like this fight, it's good to talk about. I feel like it could happen.
Gotta happen, man.
But realistically, who do you see him getting in with at 135 or 140?
Nobody.
Nobody. You don't see him. So he has no opponent for this year?
Who you gonna put him in with? Who? Stop playing with me, BINK. You
Nah,
know you
for
picking
real.
on me. Stop.
I ain't picking on you.
Yes,
who
you are.
Who can you see Tank fighting? We got Lomachenko coming back. Yeah, I'm talking about Tank.
Okay, I thought you said Ryan, because I'm
No.
gonna say, you know Ryan ain't gonna fight nobody.
No, I'm talking about Tank right now. He just beat Rolly, right? I don't see this fight really coming to fruition. Who's his next opponent? Lomachenko coming back from Ukraine.
Oh, that'd be
Heard you back in the gym.
That'd be a goodie. But then that has to go. But then, I'm so sad we gotta say this. But that goes to the negotiations with Top Rank again and whatever. A side story real quick, I never forget. I'm not gonna say the fighter name, but he told me this. He said, yo, you ever notice that a lot of guys gonna be undisputed sometimes? He said, you ever notice nobody ever get the WBO belt? I said, what are you talking about? He said, that's the Top Rank belt. Nobody touches that belt. Nobody. Go look at anybody who's gotten that WBO belt. It's all Top Rank fighters.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we talked about that last week. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's gonna be that part of negotiation. So scratch Lomachenko. Devin might be the best bet, to be honest. So we ain't got to keep going on it. Like, Devin probably be the best bet, because look, Devin don't mind. He like a free agent, like a mercenary. All right, I'll give y'all a fight or two, and then I'll leave, go to the zone, get them 4 fights, leave over here. I'll get you. All right, we negotiate 1 fight with y'all, come back to this 2 fights. That would be probably the best bet that can happen.
No, for sure. I like that fight too. Like the fight with Devin and Tank.
But I think Tank stops him late.
You think it stopped Devin?
It's not gonna be easy.
Yeah.
It will not be. It's not gonna be as easy as I think he could stop Ryan. It is not happening. That jab is something pretty. Cook God Almighty, that jab is something pretty.
Nah, for real.
God.
For real.
Yo.
Hey, real quick, this is kind of off topic, but not really used to talk about Golden Boy. We got news this week that Kenichi Estrada left Golden Boy. How big is that for her, and how does this play a role with the promotional company and even with this fight?
Shout out Sinisa. Shout out
For
Joe
real.
Cool. Her and her dad always show me a lot of love on Instagram. That's a big deal, because I think me and you talked about it on the phone yesterday, man. Oscar was, I don't want to say he put all his eggs in the basket, but he basically had his golden girl, Marlene Esparza, and Marlene was like the star of the little girls coming out of the amateurs. So it kind of was like, she was so happy when she first signed. Like, this girl is from your neighborhood, Oscar. Like, she's from your neighborhood. She's from your side of the town.
Yeah.
Like, so to me, it's crazy how it just goes so south, how you just can't wait to sign. I remember she was talking about how she had her old car before she got signed, trying to make it to the gym and back, and no breakdown, stuff like that, and how them days was over, and you so happy with something like that to see it go sour. And it's like, her to leave is a big deal, and then she beat that golden girl. I mean, punished her, broke her down.
Yeah.
You wonder what in the hell started this? What did you do? And then on top of that, you gotta ask the bigger question: how in the hell did she not sign with Eddie Hearn
and got with Top Rank
and get with Top Rank?
It's crazy because
how do you let that happen?
I don't know if you've been to East LA, but people from East LA, they really locked in tight. Like, they really rock with each other. LA period. When you go to East LA, they linked in. So for her to leave Oscar, it's like, yo, this is, I don't really know. I don't know all the inside scoop, but it's gotta be huge. And then Top Rank.
So you're right. You're absolutely right. But Oscar has always had that trouble with East LA, slightly. And what I mean by that, from what I loosely been told since a little kid with different fighters that knew other reporters that knew Oscar, different things like that. So I'm paraphrasing, but remember when Oscar used to come out and he would have like a half and half role, like it would be the USA and the Mexico thing?
Yeah.
It was kind of like some Mexicans didn't really show him a lot of love. Some of them still don't. Some of them still harbor hard feelings, and they forget, like, Oscar came up rough like them. Like, if you read that boy bio, like, he was Like that man went through it, you know, to get to where he is. That's why he always puts on top of his thing, kid from East LA. Not bad for a kid from East LA. You know, so but it's a big deal, but I'm pretty sure it's still some older cats that's like, I'm not surprised. He always, some people took it as he act like he better than them. That's why when he fought Chavez, till this day, people like, yeah, you fought him when he was old.
Yeah.
We still don't love you. We still don't love you. We'll adopt you here and there for fights, like the Trinidad fight. Well, all right, yeah, we love you. We'll adopt you because you're going against Puerto Rico. You know, all right, you going against Iko Tay. You fought, yeah, you had some hard that fight. All right, you know, like it's still a little bit of that tension there from what I've been told.
Yeah.
So
let me throw this at you then. Say, for example, say Tank leaves Mayweather Promotions. Say Ryan walks away from Golden Boy, for example, right? Who picks up Tank? Who picks up Ryan? And then how do we make this fight happen? All hypothetical. How do we make this happen? Y'all can tap in and comment on it too.
Both of them, if they smart, I could see Tank just keeping. Well, how much? I don't know. I don't want to say the wrong percentage, but we know Floyd taking a nice percentage. All that percentage come back to Tank.
So you saying go with his own promotional company, go GTD all the way?
I mean, just sign. If you sign with Al Heyman, you keeping good majority of that stuff, and you getting the promoters cut to yourself. Then you gotta wonder, Ryan can really do it himself now, but I don't think he will do that. I don't think he like wants to deal with that due diligence or even put certain people into play to handle it for him.
Right.
I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not saying I know. You know, I haven't really heard anything, but I could. With a lot of fighters, you know, like it's a big deal to be able to. Okay, now kind of like FUBU, for us, by us. You know, fighters. Now you're a fighter. You make your own thing. You do whatever. But then you gotta wonder, can Ryan do the same? Because he has the popularity to do that. But will he do it? Even if he just leaves and just be like, all right, I'm negotiate myself and Tank, you promote and run the whole damn thing. But now I'm still getting my percentage myself. You know, whatever way. But I don't see that. But I can see Tank not signing, just go and do PBC and, you know, but keep Floyd on phone call here and there, like, you know, advice or whatever. But you know how that go.
Yeah, that's how I feel. I feel like Tank could probably do his own thing with GTD. And I could probably see Ryan signing with either Eddie Hearn or going over Top Ring. More so Eddie Hearn. You think that deal happened with Eddie Hearn and Showtime Al Heyman?
Nah.
They seem to go through a lot of negotiation problems, them two. They don't get many fights done.
Nah, I doubt it, man. I don't see that happening. I'm gonna be honest with you. I just don't. That's just more so because, all right, he had 40 pounds, right? He had 40 pounds, right? Who he fighting at 40? Go ahead, name him. I dare you.
Ask that question again. Who is he fighting, or who can he fight up there and beat?
Both.
He can fight anybody, but who is he gonna beat up there?
I'll throw out one name right now. Since everybody want to act like they don't know who this dude is, Regis Prograis.
No, Regis
Prograis.
I'm glad you brought that up.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Dude, man, I've been watching that dude since he turned pro, and all of a sudden they want to act like they just forgot this dude's name all of a sudden.
They doing him dirty at 140.
Doing him cruddy, bro.
Right.
Cruddy.
For sure.
Unreal. Bro, like this dude for anybody, anytime, any place. You want it, come get it. Stop this guy. Stop. Remember when this boy came up and he was walking through Bama, stopping him in the minute in the round, whatever?
Yeah.
Then, this guy, once you get in there with somebody that can box or not afraid of him coming forward, that Bama started. It was like Tommy Hearns fighting Ray Leonard the first time. That Bama switched up, went back to boxing on it. Like, good God, oh my.
Regis is vicious, yo. He don't get enough credit. Regis is almost in the same categories like Boo Boo Andre, where he's not getting his fair shake with these fights, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Great example.
So so Josh Taylor vacated which belt, right?
Oh gosh.
And then it's Jose Ramirez is fighting for the belt now against
Yes.
Who's he fighting against?
He's fighting I think it's Zepeda.
Is it Zepeda? It is Zepeda. Why is Regis not in the mix?
Son, he's the #1 contender, I think. He was the #1 contender for one of them daggone belts.
I feel like he been the #1 contender for a minute,
And they
too.
moved him, and he got on Instagram and was like, so y'all just gonna act like
I'm not here?
I'm not here? Yeah, that dude is a killer, man. That dude is a killer. You know what he remind me of? And this is high praise, and I'm not saying this lightly. Remind them, man, when it comes to fighting, you remind me of Roberto Duran, dog. I swear to God.
Who, Regis?
Yes.
The boy got them hammers on him.
Man, not just about the punch, just his mentality.
Right.
Towards it.
Uh-huh.
How he take away skill set. I'm not talking about skill set. Just the mind frame of how he is leading up to the contract signing, to the contract signing, to after the contract signing. How he want to see you.
He a real fighter.
It's certain guys, man.
It's like him and Terrence Crawford the same way with that same mentality. Like, I can see you wherever, whenever, however.
Make it to his head. Go make it to your fight before you not make it to your fight.
Yeah. Nah, for real.
Oh man, that was classic. Man, tighten your Bomac. Man, tighten your belt up, man. Let's go outside. Tighten your belt up. Come on. Man, what you waiting on? Come on. God,
hey, so look, real quick, Regis progress. So say Regis did get the fight. How do you see the fight playing out with Regis against Jose Ramirez? And how do you see the fight playing out Regis versus Zepeda?
I think Regis beat both of them, man.
Right, I agree.
I love me some Jose Ramirez. I love the way that boy fight. I love the way Zepeda for Josue. You know how high I am on Josue, how slick he is and everything. And the way he just did a pro move.
Early, too.
Early.
That joint.
I'm not going to be intimidated by your slickness. I'm not going to be intimidated by the counter and the speed. Just got to take my time. Wait for it. Oh, he's rocking.
BINK. Put him right on the canvas. That boy ain't been the same since.
Yeah, and that's oh my.
That's a whole nother topic for a whole nother episode, man.
And trust me, when I go on that topic, whenever we do that topic is near and dear to my heart when it comes to fighters getting hurt or losing a step, stuff like that. So when that topic come, man, that's gonna be a big title when I do that topic.
Right. We also got to throw in the young boy that just fought last weekend. Gabe, what's his name? Just fought last weekend.
On ESPN?
ESPN.
Oh, my God.
What's the young boy?
Flores.
Gabriel Flores. Yeah, we got to throw him in the same category.
Goodness.
We got to throw him on the same category because
that broke my heart.
It's really sad to see.
That broke my heart, man. And I've heard a lot of good and bad about him. And it's like, oh, God. That punishment. And I mean, this boy he ain't a pretty boy. He ain't, he got heart. He coming, but he took the shots to make it quick. Yes, it's damage that can ruin whatever he can be. Though people don't get that. Them thumbs that you take, headbutts, even in the amateurs. Like just last week, I got thumbed, and it's still real sore over the bridge, right all the way through here. It's still like everything right here is kind of still a little bit black, like when I look, and like my vision. But everything else is clear. It took about a minute, about 30. It was the longest 30 seconds to a minute in my life for my vision to come back in my right. I was like, what the heck? And having to continue to move. People don't.
Fighters, that's why,
don't
man.
Get that, man.
All the respect for the fighters, the guys that getting in and do it at the amateur level, the professional level, even guys that's getting in just to spar for conditioning, just to stay in shape as a workout. Like all the respect in the world to you guys. But hey, real quick, let's take a quick break. Let's go to Coach Fox with Hands with the Plan.
Hey, what's up, everybody? One coach's opinion. We take this out. Remember, it's my opinion, nothing else. You got yours, I got mine. Share it with me. I'm sharing mine with you. So, a lot of people asking about what I think about Tank and Ryan Garcia. So, here's my take on that. Ryan Garcia seems to me to be like a trouble fighter. I feel mentally right now, who has been bounced from coach to coach to coach right now. And, it's settling down, and maybe he'll find that's one of his issues to me. And if you bounce from coach to coach to coach, it might not be the coach, it could be you. So, but he is successful in what he's doing to getting where he's doing. So, and they're putting the right people in front of him, you know, smaller guys that aren't that much of an offensive threat. Fortuna, I'm not taking anything from him, but he's more of a smaller fighter. You know what I'm saying? You can really see the size difference in the ring. So with Ryan, to me, he's a totally offensive fighter. He's tall for that division. He's wiry. He does know how to use his range offensively. Defensively is where his problem's gonna be. If he gets on the rope, he has problems. He can't fight off the ropes. He really, when he goes backwards, his defense isn't tight. It's kind of reaching out, trying to push guys and keep them at a certain level. It's not really protecting itself. So in my opinion, you got a strong offensive fighter fighting in Tank Davis, a hell of a counterpuncher. You saw it with Rolly. He took his time. Some people say, oh, he ran. No, he didn't run. He got his time, and he got Rolly's timing. He started touching him a little bit, if you saw it, and then he took a shot and knocked Rolly out. Like you said, it wasn't even that hard of a shot. I mean, he just ran into it. I mean, you have to be able to judge a person's time, but then he was even talking to the crowd like, nah, he not ready yet. He not ready. I got him. And so if you want, you could think it's hype. But let me say you something. You cannot be a good counterpuncher and not be a good boxer. Because that's really, if you can hit without getting hit, that's the definition of boxing. And that's what Tank is. I'm telling you, in my opinion, nobody's really brought it out of him just yet, so you had to see it. He was able to overpower everybody, you know what I'm saying, because he was stronger, you know, and people was afraid of him. So some people would say, I argue, like a coach in my gym every night, he likes Ryan Garcia. Some people say, well, Tank, his opponents were tailor-made for him. But I'll say this, can you guarantee that Ryan Garcia can beat Mario Barrios? Can you guarantee that Ryan Garcia can beat Jose Pedraza? Can you guarantee that he can beat Isaac Cruz? Isaac, let me say it right, Isaac Cruz. Can you guarantee that he can beat some of these guys that Tank has fought? He can beat a lot of the guys that Tank has fought. But I'll say this, Mario Barrios probably can beat everybody that Ryan Garcia fought. Isaac Cruz probably can beat everybody that Ryan Garcia has fought. Rolly probably, with the exception of maybe the Olympian he fought, Rolly probably can even beat him because of size and stuff. He probably could beat Luke Campbell. Rolly probably could beat everybody on Ryan Garcia's list. I can't really see anybody that probably could beat Rolly that Ryan Garcia has fought. And Rolly is probably at the upper echelon of the people Tank has fought. Rolly is probably, as far as skill-wise, probably one of the worst fighters. To be honest, I mean, I don't see, it's not a guarantee Rolly can beat Mario Barrios or Isaac Cruz. So Tank is beating some guys that people might not call them a little lighter, but they're not lighter in the boxing world. They're just lighter when you put them against Tank. You can't guarantee Ryan could beat any of these guys. And you know, you're looking at a strong defensive fighter versus an offensive fighter. And you might say, well, it's a match. But the difference is Tank can become offense. He can fight offensively. He can press you out when he gets you there. You know what I'm saying? He can press you out. Ryan has one chance. He can't wait on Tank. He can't try to counterpunch Tank. He can't do much of that. You know what I mean? Ryan Garcia has to keep the pressure on Tank at all times and watch his counterpunching. And Ryan Garcia, to me, his defense isn't up to par. So that's where you have your problems at. You know what I'm saying? If I saw more defensively with the guy, if he wasn't, even Javier Fortuna at certain times put him in corners. So, you know, I'm going to take Tank regardless, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, I've known this kid so long. So, but it's my opinion that Tank would have a better chance beating Ryan Garcia. And not to mention, Tank is like a balloon, Joe. It's not like you say, well, Tank has the 130. Man, Tank is big enough to float to maybe 140. I think he might have some problems at 147, you know, where the punching power would die down just a little bit, but he's explosive at 130. He's powerful at 135. He has good power at 140, and we have yet to see him go to 47 to see what's going on. I don't think with his size, I think his body, because it's not like he gets taller. He's going to get bigger and wider. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's my man and everything. But, you know, reality, I think 147 is a different monster. His weight class is for a reason. So if you ask me if Tank can beat Errol Spence, that's when I have to say, no. You know what I'm saying? I love him to death. But, no, I got to take Errol on this one. There's weight classes for a reason. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it stops. But that would help Tank in the fight because Ryan Garcia probably would have a lot of problems at 40. The smaller he stays, the better chance he has of winning because he's explosive. He has explosive power at 135 against offensive fighters. You have fighters like Devin Haney. You got fighters like Shakur Stevens. They can fight offensively and defensively. You just seen Devin fight a remarkable fight where even when he got tagged, he was keeping his composure. He was doing what he had to do. And that right there marks is a hell of a mark for somebody. You know, it shows it keeps composure. It's the mark of a champion, and he might stay champion a long time unless he fights somebody like Shakur or Tank. And not saying he can't win with those. I'm just saying those are the only people that I can see kind of beating him right now. You know what I'm saying? And if you want to add, I mean, I'm not quitting on Lopez. I'm not quitting on Lomachenko, but it takes so much to make a fight with them guys that, you know, you kind of just look at it like that's like that comic book, Superman versus the Hulk type stuff. It just seems never to come into play. And you see like your Lomachenko, you see the certain guys that he's always gonna fight, and you see the certain guys that other people are gonna fight from there, you know. So I mean, Lopez might, you know, it might throw him out there. I'm not sure what their relationship is with Bob Arum, but they might get thrown out. I'm waiting to see who he fights next. But like I said, those are the type of guys that Ryan probably was gonna have trouble with because of his defense. You know what I'm saying? So, but right now he can beat a lot of guys because he's gonna beat them offensively. He's gonna keep him at the range. He does understand his range. He understands pretty much his offense. He just really, to me, doesn't imply any defense. He just goes super offense. He's kind of like, to me, not to be funny, I look at him like, and it could be great words, like a big, tall Pacquiao. He's like a big, tall Pacquiao that's coming with a bunch of punches. He uses his range well, you know what I'm saying? But he uses his range well offensively. He doesn't really keep his range for defense. He uses his range offensively. He knows how to stand there and hit you. As long as he's punching, he has his range. But if you ask him to move back and stop punching and defend himself, that's where the trouble's gonna kick in with Ryan Garcia. So, because Tank is a better boxer to me, you know what I'm saying, and all around, Ryan has maybe a height advantage and a reach advantage. You got to give him that over that situation. But Tank moves a lot. He's elusive, and a lot of people have the reach advantage over him. You know what I'm saying? And you know, a lot of people have a height advantage over him too. You know, Barrios had a pretty good height advantage over him. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a better height advantage than Ryan Garcia. I have to check and see which one of those guys are taller. But Barrios wasn't a short fighter at all. So we don't know if the height's gonna give Tank a problem. So I'd pick Tank just because of who he is. I'll give you that. And say if I didn't know him, I'd pick him because I can see the counter puncher in him. And you're not going to be a counter punchers are guys who know timing. You know what I'm saying? Who know what punch to throw. You know what I'm saying? And they're good. That means you have to be alert. You have to be on point. You have to pay attention to become a good counter puncher. You know. Somebody just put up a little tiny video of Tank when he was like, looked like 8 years old. Spawned without a headgear with a kid. You know what I'm saying? I think I remember the kid. I think the kid was Mike something. And he counterpunched him. You know, so he rocked back and threw his left hand. So this kid been counterpunching. He's been doing this since he was a young kid. You know, he had good power. Always had good power, don't get me wrong. But You know, it ain't like he was knocking kids out when he was 8 years old. Not the ones I seen. Cal might have some stories about some kids he might have ran out the gym, but everybody has those stories. But the kids that stuck around, when he fought like the silver gloves, the local silver glove stuff, he wasn't putting kids to sleep. So I can say that. But he has been counterpunching for a while, and he can box. He's won tournaments boxing, not knocking people out. You know what I'm saying? So it's a side of Tank that people have failed to see because nobody has made them see that yet. You know, so nobody's going in there and made him see it. I mean, Barrios did a little bit. You should have saw a little bit of boxing with Barrios. You should have saw a little bit of the movement and not getting hit with Rolly. Rolly normally hits people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I knew he was kind of too wild. Now, Ryan Garcia, the difference between Ryan Garcia's punches are crisper. He throws better punches than Rolly and stuff like that. But those are the punches that Tank Tank doesn't, you know, spar against a lot of MMA fighters or whatever like that. He spars against good, solid boxers. The kid does have a good counterpunch system going on. And for that reason, I would choose Tank over Ryan Garcia. And that's all I really have to say about it. Y'all let me know how you feel. One coach's opinion. I'm out. Tank versus Ryan Garcia.
Yo, there we go.
All right,
We
there
good.
go.
We good.
But
Real quick, let me do it again. That was one coach opinion from Coach Fox. Make sure you guys follow his handles, Hands with Plans. He's gonna give you his in-fight analysis, maybe some post-fight analysis. He has great opinions on boxing, a different take that you may not have thought of. Make sure you guys go follow and show him a lot of love. Coach Fox, Hands with Plans.
I'm glad that he messed up because now I can say something else I forgot to say. I love that family. You know, they've always looked after me. You know, personally with personal things. Always, you know, make sure I was okay. Things like that. Sly Fest, Mr. Troy, and man, those my guys, man. But it's hard for me to come up with words but the first two words I've always come to mind when I talk about it, you've always heard me say they consummate professionals, always in shape, always ready to go. And for the casuals who may not know who they are, this family are known top contenders, known to get robbed, known to fight top fights and supposed to get shots at titles, things like that. Like this is the analysis that you're getting it from. You know, so this is the Fox family is, you know, I love their mom. Always, you know, I just love those guys, man. So right. I always try to make sure they get as much love as they deserve, they should be getting.
Right, no, for sure. Coming up, guys, we got a special guest coming on. Jamal Harvey,
indeed.
2021. In 10 minutes. Let me just run down his resume. Jamal Harvey, he's a 19-year-old fighter out of Oxon Hill, Maryland. He's a 2021 AIBA world champion, 10-time national champion, a 2-time international gold medalist. This young man is very well accomplished, very well decorated at such a young age. You said you grew up with him in the gym, right?
I've always seen him come around sparring all the time.
So what about, does any of these accolades surprise you that he's here at such a young age?
Surprise? No, that's... Hey, I'm not trying to sound cocky, but that's kind of normal for certain states like Ohio, D.C., Maryland, New York. That's kind of normal. But what is a big deal is him winning the AIBAs. When he won the AIBAs, that was a big deal. Like, didn't get robbed, didn't get none of that. You know, he took it. that was the big deal. You know, I interviewed him once up at DC Armory with my dad for that. So many my family members for it. It was a big night for me to be announcing that and have top guys there. Little Reggie, who used to box with me at Hillcrest, who went to Oxon Hill, who's now in the military. And I had the chance to interview him then. They brought a kid. It was like it took so many opponents to get one kid down here. And he really did to that boy, dog. Oh man, I still remember that fight, man. What he did to that kid was so bad, like, cause the kid didn't want to be there no more.
Right.
He didn't want to be there no more. He kept trying to find a way out, and the kid could fight too, but he just felt. I think he was too deep in the water. Put it like that. Like I think the kid could fight, but it being Jamal, it's like, dude, I'm about to fight. At the time, I think he probably was 8-time national champ at that time. So he was like, oh, okay, I don't know. So he kept finding a way out, but being honest, I'm not
surprised. Yeah, I haven't seen much. I haven't seen much of him, honestly, but I've seen little clips and highlights. What about his game do you take away from him the most that you think makes him stand out? What makes him special?
His tenacity. To follows instructions very well. Forget about his skills. I know everybody's, he got a nice left hook. He got this. Man, I don't care about none of that. Just amateurs. He listens well. He follows the directions well to go, and then he tries to execute them. Not just, coach called this, did it once. He goes right back to it. Right back to it. Keeps going. Right. So I really enjoy that. But think he ready for us.
All right, we got Jamal ready to bring into the show. Let's bring him on.
Man, what he did to that boy, the Armory, bro.
We're going to ask him about it.
I mean, he threw the kid off of him. The boy was about 2 inches shorter than me.
For real?
About 2 inches shorter, man. The boy was about 2 inches shorter than me. He threw the boy off, threw him about 2-3 times, threw him to the can.
Damn.
Because the boy kept trying to lock up Jamal.
Right.
Lean on this.
Silent.
Man, get off me. Kept throwing him. Then he's dipping his head off. Sliding into him.
Here we go.
Jamal, man.
We got Jamal on. Jamal. Hey, man, thank you for joining the Slip Encounter podcast, man. My name is BINK, and you know Mr. GOLDENBOY here.
What's up, man? It's been a minute, baby. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Just getting ready for this
man.
camp. I got a tournament coming up September, international. But they coming to the U.S. this time, so we gotta hold the fort down in the U.S. and show them what's up.
For sure. Man. Where's the fight at here on American soil?
It's in Pueblo, Colorado.
Okay.
Oh, the Olympic Center.
For sure.
Not too far from the Olympic Center.
So for the people that are just getting introduced to you here on the channel, can you give us a rundown of where you're from and how you got your start in boxing?
So I'm from PG County, Maryland, and I started boxing from my football coach. I used to play with the Oxon Hill Roadrunners, and he had a gym. So he told me to come up to the gym one day, and I went up to the gym, started boxing and playing football. But as I got to high school and I realized I ain't really had the size and height for football, I just stuck with the boxing.
For sure. When did you know that boxing, this is what's going to take me to this national champion level? When did you know boxing was it for you?
From my very first nationals, I knew, even my very first sparring session, really, I should say, I knew that I had a lot of talent with it because my coach, he never put me in there with anybody that was green. From when I first started sparring, I sparred with national champions, and I was going in and I was giving them some work. So I was like, if I really pursue this, if I just focused on this, I could go real far with it. And I won my first national with under 15 fights, and that's when I knew yeah, I got this.
Yeah, for sure. You got something for him?
I was just telling them about when I interviewed you at the Armory. and you fought the kid out of Jersey. The kid kept trying to. Oh God! Well, you kept throwing the kid off and throwing him to the ground because he kept grabbing you. But I was telling him, I was like, that was my first time actually not watching it on screen, being there and having to call his fight. And everybody want me to say, oh, his tenacity is this, is that. No. I like the way that you've always, even when y'all would come to Hillcrest or anywhere and I was there, y'all was sparring, listening to Coach Darrell, like. Always listening to the instructions, executing the instructions, and then repeating the instructions. And I think that's what also is on top of the tenacity and coming forward and all those things. That's what took you to where you at now, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. You just got to get with a coach that you believe in. I believed in everything he said, and I looked up to him as a father figure. So everything he said to me, I trusted in it.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. Go ahead, Jamal. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I'm done.
Oh, okay. Being a former football player, what from the sport of football do you carry with you into boxing? Is anything that you take away?
That I carry? Nah, not really. I mean, it's good that I was playing football and I had already, I was already physically in shape, the footwork, stuff like that. But and just determination and wanting to win. You just not letting anybody just bring me down, eat or nothing, or beat on me. I just always had to just fight.
Yeah, for sure. What position did you play when you played ball?
I played running back and corner.
Okay. So that now it's making sense when you said he was throwing the guy up off of him. Like you ain't. Yeah, it makes sense now.
The guy kept kind of. So the kid, I think the kid could fight a little bit, but I just think him at the time. I think Jamal was 8-time national champ or 7-time national champ. He was just like he let the moment get too big, and he. How many opponents? I think it was like the 5th or 4th opponent that they got for him for that one show.
Yeah,
that was a show, not a tournament. That was a show at the Armory, and. When it comes to the football part, though, in my opinion, that I think you took from it is you were already adapted to taking contact and dealing with size difference and having to get up under somebody that's taller. I think that easily it just transitioning. You took that without a problem into boxing and then it made it even easier because somebody was your size, more so your size now than if you were on the football field and this guy might be a little bit bigger or taller or whatever. It was a little bit more easy, just slightly more easy. But I got a question for you. You're one of the top ranked amateur prospects, and now the Olympics has just got canceled. So how does that affect you? Because in my opinion, the Olympics aren't as big as when my dad was fighting. Like, you had to get a medal. Like, these days, with your resume, top rank and all these different PBC, all these guys will still come because of your resume. But what does that do for you being one of the top, probably top in the smaller guys, but in that top 5 guys, okay, this guy, can't wait for this guy to go turn pro, whatever, and go to the Olympics. Now that the Olympics is gone, how does that affect you?
Yeah, so the Olympics is really gone for 2028. So we still was already locked in for 2024.
Oh,
so
okay.
This last 2024 Olympics.
Okay. All right. So I read it wrong. Okay. Good. Because that, I'm be honest with you, that hurt me.
I still can't believe it.
That hurt me, man. Because I thought of you. I was like, oh my gosh, I hope this don't take away his opportunity to get gold or get silver, anything. I hope this don't take away his opportunity to finally solidify. If he wants to solidify and not turn pro to go to the Olympics, that's the last thing you want to put on top of your resume.
Yeah, for sure. Olympic medal is the dream. So if I was even thinking about going to 2028 too. So after 2024, look like I'm gonna be going pro if there's no 2028 Olympics, which is most likely not. I don't think that's the only way it affects me. I won't get 2 runs that I just gotta get my all this run, and
that's what it's gonna be.
For sure. I got a question for you. How did boxing intertwine with your childhood? Were you still able to have like a regular childhood and play with the neighborhood friends and ride bikes and go to the ice cream trucks? How did boxing and taking it serious intertwine with that?
Of course you miss out on a lot of things because you got to travel a lot. You got to go to different swimming stuff, but you still you miss out on things. But back when I was a child, it's not. I would say I would miss more. I'm missing more now, growing like being as a teenager, like a semi-adult, because I'm just family. I'm all the way in Colorado to where I was here, but I just was at the gym, and so I could make that time. But I can't be in Colorado and back in the day all at one sitting, so I just miss out on more now.
Right. Where are some of the what are some of your favorite places boxing's taking you so far around the world? What are some of your favorite places you've traveled?
Favorite places in the U.S. or outside of the U.S.?
Both.
I'm saying one of my favorite places inside of the U.S. that I went to, probably Texas. When I first went to Texas, it was a lot to do there, and it had good weather. But they be putting these nationals in some wild places, like
Yes.
Hey, Wisconsin. In Wisconsin, I seen it. It was cold in the morning. I think it was like hot in the morning, like hot, and then it rained. Then it got sunny. Then it got back cold. I was like, wow, that's the greatest weather ever. So I would say,
I got one I can ask you.
Louisiana was cool too. It had some good food out Louisiana.
Yeah, I heard.
So let me ask you this: what you think about? Oh, go ahead. What did you say? What else?
Outside the U.S., I would say my favorite spot was Serbia.
Serbia.
For real?
Games, yeah. Serbia was nice.
What about Serbia?
Like where is that located? It's located in Germany. I want to say they in Germany. Nah, I'm just saying they got the best pastries. I ain't never had no cupcakes, cake, or anything of that sort. Then the food they had vegan food for me. Food that was amazing.
Right. That's my favorite part about traveling is getting to dive into the culture, like the food culture, and trying different things. You know what I'm saying? I got a lot of friends from like the Philippines, and they put me onto a lot of food I never would have tried ever. But just tasting different, you can kind of get a sense of like who they are just from tasting their food.
Especially in Southeast Europe.
Yeah, Europe.
Like, that's around. Wait, where is that? I want to say like Bulgaria. It's like right on the borders of Bulgaria and Hungary and I want to say Kosovo.
Oh, Ecuador. But it's just the weather out there is just sticky. But Ecuador was pretty cool. Yeah, it's hot.
So I gotta ask you. I got a question that I ask everybody who make the national team. I gotta ask them this: how bad did your lungs burn when you got to Colorado for the first time?
Oh, the altitude.
Man, that altitude is walk up some stairs and your nose out of nowhere in the middle of the night and everything.
Dang.
You go first you need to go to Colorado is get some chapstick and drink a gallon of water, or you gonna be cramping for no reason and your nose gonna be bleeding.
Oh God, man, I know because I remember Gary and Alan told me they get to Colorado, Luis Yanez, a few of the other guys from that Olympic team, they in there and they was like, man, I bet you can't run up these. I'll beat you from the elevator up to your room on through the staircase. I'm like, man, you got me messed up. All right, cool. To the third floor, cool. I would say he turned off that staircase onto the second floor. He's like, man, what the fuck? His lungs was killing. Oh my goodness.
Hey, I got on a. We went to an amusement park. No, they had like a little fair and they had some rides. And one of the rides like take you upside down, but like it stay upside down for a little bit, then it swing back down. I was upside down. Now, that ride almost killed me, man.
No, I heard that. I don't ride rides. I go to the fairs and I eat the funnel cake, and now that's right as far as I go. I ain't getting on no rides.
Oh man, I'm pulling you on some
No,
rides,
you
man.
not.
I'm pulling you on some rides.
No, he
man.
not. Hey, let me ask you real quick. How was your experience in Italy? We heard Cardan was out there with you, but didn't get a chance to really link up with you out there.
Okay. Oh, Italy, it was a good experience. I ain't gonna. I was in a country part of Italy called the Sicily, but it got like a lot of tourists because they have like they just got a lot of tourist attractions. They got like they real religious out there, so it's a lot of religious buildings out there and stuff. But the food, I thought the pastas and stuff was gonna be hit way more, but I don't know. I gotta go to a more city part of Italy.
Oh, okay. Man, that's surprising. I thought, Italian food probably hit everywhere you go out there, but what was different about it that didn't, pop to you?
Well, I got up. We went to like one little restaurant where they had some good pizza, but the food that like, so when we go out of town, they usually serve every team the same thing, so they don't, so like you don't get sick or you be like somebody tampering with, and the food that they were serving was their pasta and stuff, and it just wasn't that good.
Yeah, I got you. You got some?
So how that passport loading up on you?
Got stamps all over that joint.
Oh yes, sir.
Trying to just keep loading it up. I want to go everywhere. I want to keep traveling. It's fun.
Yeah,
that's right.
Flights. So I don't like the long flights, especially when you gotta make weight and watch your weight. Man, like 13 hours, no eating. Cause you gonna hold on to in the air.
No, for sure. That's definitely a grind, man. Definitely a grind. What are some of your hobbies besides boxing? Like when you get a chance to relax and unwind and be Jamal for a little bit outside of the star power, what are some of your hobbies?
Some of my hobbies, usually I just go play basketball with my friends. I used to play the game, but I don't play anymore. Don't interest me no more. I would watch TV. That's it.
Right. If you had to compare yourself to somebody on the court when you out there hooping with your friends, who do you compare yourself to?
I don't know. Who compare me to? Let me see. A lot of people just compare me to like John Wall or something because I don't really shoot. Like I can, but I drive most of the time. Like I don't. I drive and do mid range for real.
Yeah.
My three not that accurate. I drive, but I can stay in the air for a long time. I can dunk, but only if I get a alley oop. Okay. So I can stay in the air for a long time, and I just stay in the air and see everybody hands swatting, and I release the ball at the last second.
Right. And so you got bounce. How tall are you again?
A little bit, like 5'4".
And you dunking?
Nah, not consistently. Like,
but just to get up there and dunk, that's
dunk.
crazy.
Kind of just like Nate Robinson. Basically.
Wow, that's crazy, man. Look, I can't shoot neither, but I pull it from three. I'm screaming Curry every time I let that thing go. I can't shoot to save my life. I'm screaming Curry every time I come down the court. That's why I don't hoop no more. Mugs don't like to play with me.
Oh, God. Oh, my goodness.
Hey, man, so where do you see yourself in 10 years from now with boxing?
10 years from now. So these next 2 years, Olympics, gold medal, and then the 8 after that, just, I don't know, on my grind still, working my way up in the pro ranks. I should have a world title by then, 8 years. So, yeah, I've been world champion in the pro boxing game.
100. You got fun.
Any parts of your game that you feel because when you turn open, that's semi-pro basically. You basically semi-pro at this point. That you feel now that you've gotten better at as a complete fighter, and it's gonna wind up being even more better as you turn pro and as you evolve. Like different parts of your skill sets that you've gotten better at and you want to add on.
Different. I would say my angles. I use a lot more angles now. Understanding the game more. Nah, not my angle. My feint. My feints begin way better. The USA. I would say one thing. They teach a lot of feints, so I know how to open my opponent up by throwing certain feints and landing shots that I want to land. And it's gonna really help me in the pros because I'm gonna have lighter gloves on, and that's when the knockouts gonna come.
Especially with your size and the weight class you in, you sitting there start giving foot feints and start giving shoulder feints and sitting here giving them different looks here, and next thing you know, and the amateurs can't touch. You can't really lock and turn things like that. And then the pros, now you can do that. You can move his glove, grab his glove any type of way, and pull in and throw your shoulder even more on him, and those different things. So when that comes, even when I saw you fight 2 years ago at the Armory, when I saw that, I was like, it was the way you get under guys, and you start pivoting on guys more, and you start sidestepping and ripping the body shots from under the lung and in the sternum and into the spleen and things like that. Coming, especially how we talk. You hit to the body, you hear him go, everything freezes, and then you come up top and finish off. Oh man, that's dangerous. Especially as you start to slow down too in the pros and see this and do this. Okay, start looking at stuff. Yeah, I could definitely see you adding angles in the feints, and it'd be very devastating, especially with how tenacity, how you break guys down.
Thank you.
No problem, bro.
Who are some of the guys that you like in the game right now that you kind of study and try to take little bits and pieces from?
I'm gonna say the people I watch the most right now, I would say is Loma is one, Earl, and Terrence Crawford.
Okay, those are good three. What do you now from each one of those guys? What do you take away from each of their games? I know you mentioned angles before, so I'm assuming you're taking your angles from Lomachenko. But what about the other two?
Yeah, so Terrence, his ring IQ, just the way he positions his foot when he's in southpaw and stuff. He switches his stance, and I do the same. And Earl, I just take his head movement, the way he just stay on the inside, stay tight. I actually got a chance to talk to Derek James. I went to his gym before, and he was showing me like the way Earl just stay tight, stay on the inside, and just move or punch all around his opponent. He's never just standing there. He's on the inside. And while he's ripping, he's moving his feet to the side, all around you. Keep turning you, tire you out.
Right. Who's your dog in the fight if and when we get Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford?
That's gonna be a good fight, but after seeing the last fight, I think Earl. I'm leaning more towards Earl.
I can understand that.
I got you. I agree with you. I'm taking Errol in that fight.
How dare you, sir?
Taking Errol, man.
How dare you?
We already
sir?
talked about this,
How
man.
dare you?
He gonna
sir?
act surprised.
Why are you gonna sit there and try to embarrass me in front of company? Look, all right. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. Don't get me wrong. I get it. But for some reason, I just got.
You got that twitch in your spine.
Yeah.
Spence, bro. Nose, orbital bump, and ribs, and he punched from round 1 all the way to round. What round he stopped him in?
What was it? The 10th?
You guys? I think it was 10th round. Yeah.
Pull up, yeah. He punched. He sat on the inside and punched. And I just think that's some strong shots for
and
10
of course,
rounds.
To both of y'all's point,
you could be tough.
Would you say you could be tough and what?
You tough, but your body, you can have all the heart and be tough, but your body still gonna break down no matter
Yeah.
what.
Right. Yeah.
My only thing to y'all point is it's gonna be at 47, and Earl's been there since freaking amateurs to turn pro, or he's always been 40 something, and we already
Actually,
know.
I don't know how he's making 47 still.
Yeah. So my thing is with Terrence is I love like when he fought Ricky Burns, he was right-handed, right? Then all of a sudden he realized that Ricky Burns' jab was getting too close. That's when he switched southpaw and it gave him the perfect distance that he wanted. Same IQ. And then as he moves, I feel like his feet are faster than Earl's. So of course we already know Earl, his whole thing, like when he fought Mikey Garcia, Mikey said, as soon as you think you're open to give him a counter, he's an inch away from you. Like he just moves just enough and he just rolls and steps over. I just wonder in those sequences. Now, Bud got to maintain it for 12 rounds. That's the problem. But with his feet being faster, him sliding over and making Earl have to turn and keep up with his foot speed, that's where he can get his shots off and maybe land something that can slowly start to make, okay, this tide is turning just a little bit. Okay, this tide is turning a little bit. He's starting to outbox him or whatever. But he still got to be, to y'all point, it's weight classes for a reason. You talking to a dude who sparred light with Jared Hurd. Like, man, this weight classes for a reason.
No, for sure.
He got to be able to take that punch. Yeah, he definitely got to be able to take that punch. So
yeah, I think Bud would just have to start fast because he's not really like a fast starter.
Yeah.
So if he let Earl get them weight, he's not gonna slow down. He got to hurt Earl early, but he could definitely pull it off. It's gonna be a good fight. He could definitely pull it off, especially if he can hurt him early.
Yeah.
But if he hurts him early and he starts fast, what does that say for rounds 8 through 12?
But the gas tank gonna end up looking
How's it gonna be?
That's why it's gonna be a good fight.
It's a lot of questions, you know.
Out in that water.
Yeah.
He can swim.
Yeah. A
lot of unanswered questions with that one. So this episode, we're talking about Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis. If that fight ever happens, what's your take on that?
Tank easily knocks him out. I'm gonna say he's gonna easily knock Tank. See, everybody want to say Tank this, Tank that, get hit too much, but he does it to open you up. Like if he know you can't hurt, he's gonna open you up. He's gonna make you feel like you're doing something, and you're gonna get your little confidence, and then you're gonna slip up. He's gonna catch you one good time.
Right. I agree. He over here doing a Ric Flair, man. I agree, but for the show purposes, I had to play devil's advocate on the show.
Nah, he was past. Nah, he was past that.
And
that's some bullshit.
Boxing, like people said, Tank had a close fight with Esau Cruz. If you really go back and understand and watch boxing, you defense is really like he really has good ring IQ. Go look at his last 2 fights. His ring IQ is crazy.
Right. No, for sure. I definitely agree with you.
He wouldn't even throw on that. He's definitely maturing. He don't even throw that many punches now. He's not all wild, just coming forward. He's sitting there, just stand back, moving his head, making you punch. And he's slipping. Of course, you're going to get punched. It's boxing. But he just, not hurt. He's just sitting back and he going to take a little bit of punches. He going to open you up for that one shot, and it's going to be over.
That's a good analysis. I like it. I feel you on that.
Wait, but real quick, who said some of that similar stuff?
Man, he said some of the same stuff. We're
Thank
going to give him his flowers.
Thank you.
Give him his flowers, man. Go ahead, man.
El Niño de Oro.
So are you a fan of boxing? Because I know a lot of fighters I talk to, they aren't really fans of boxing. They just fight. Do you like actually sit down on Saturday nights and watch the whole cards all the way through?
Nah, I only watch my friends. I ain't going to lie.
Okay.
I'm not going to watch you. Really?
For sure.
But just to back you up for a second, the reason why is because I remember I was a little kid and I said that I said, Dad, did you see this? Whatever. And he was like, if I catch it, I catch it. I said, what you mean, whatever? Now, if the fight's on and he catches it, cool. And he said, and I didn't understand it till after I got a teenager and been in so many sparring sessions, so many, just being in gym every single day. It's almost like when you do it every single day, all the time, and you done seen so many fights and seen so many things, you could look at a knockout and see a knockout happen, and the person next to you go, oh my God, I hope he's okay. And be like, oh, he good. Like, that wasn't that bad of a knockout. Trust me, he's fine.
Right.
Give him about, trust me, he's good. And you see so many fights all the time. And that's why you just get used to seeing it all the time.
I got you. Y'all like conditioning to the sport already.
Yeah.
No, for sure. So, you said 10 years, right? So at the end of your career, when people say Jamal Harvey, they're going to be saying Jamal Harvey is what? Jamal Harvey, fill in that blank at the end of your career. What are people going to be saying about you?
Jamal Harvey, Olympic gold medalist and world champion.
Well, 10 years from now, he'll be 29, right?
29, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I turned 20 this year, so 10 years I'll be 30.
30, okay.
Okay, so then I got to double up on that question. You look great, and you're young. And luckily, we come from coaches in this area that we don't take stupid amounts of punishment. We bite down off the stool when we're told to, like, okay, we have to pull this out type of thing. But don't go in there just taking unnecessary shots. Do you see yourself fighting to 34 or 38 or 29 or 31 and things like that? Or is it just take it as it comes?
I want to be done with my pro career by around 34.
Good.
Like 34, 33, I want to be done.
Good.
I ain't go pro. I ain't gonna lie, I ain't gonna have no friends. I'm calling out everybody. I ain't gonna be fighting no random. Nah, I need the top guys off the jump, like, cause I feel like I'm not gonna be motivated. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a guy that, like, it's not hard to motivate me, but I just know, like, if I'm fighting, they give me just some random guy. Like, we all see it. Random guys that be in there, no footwork, can't punch. I ain't gonna be motivated for that. I'm going in. I'm ready for the top guys. I already been preparing myself. Been sparring the top pros. We got some of the top pros here. I know as soon as I get in there, I'm ready. I'm pulling the loan. Within my first 5 fights, after I get this Olympic gold medal, I'm a house dust. I'm gonna ask for them big fights.
And you'll probably have the avenue too, because by that time you'll have so many fights that the experience level you'll be able to maybe have that option to do that. But what you just said, try to be a big brother right here to tell you this, but like when you say, some of this stuff may not motivate me, it ain't like the top guys, because some of these regular guys, they won't have, and it's true, they be getting in there no footwork. That's why a lot of the guys from the 80s could probably beat a lot of these guys, because they don't have no fundamentals or whatever, or they may got one good thing that they do or whatever, instead of having a good, complete pro all-around game. But the way that I remember I talked to Mr. Zab, Judah, I was talking to Mr. Zab, and I remember he said one time about how, certain fights only motivated him, things like that. You're gonna have wear and tear, of course, and and over time. But try to look at it like this when you have to fight those regular guys. Try to look at it like, all right, another fight where I could work on this guy, because you already know when you get in there with certain guys, you might work on stuff and then stop them in the 6th just to work on something and then stop them. You could have stopped them in the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th, but you're gonna stop them in the 6th, 7th, because you're gonna work on this and work on that. Just look at it as it's another night you're gonna work on being a better pro.
No, I ain't gonna work when I get in there. I'm coming to demolish.
Slide them and go home. Don't get paid overtime.
I rock with it. I rock with that too.
Yeah,
I rock with it.
But apart, what'd you say?
said, nah, I'm gonna do my work in the sparring. I can't get on live television and start trying to work on something.
Yeah.
Only
And
time I
then,
would try to do that, I'm getting ready. Okay, I can see when you first start, yeah, I'm gonna take like 2 or 3 fights of fighting probably like 6 or 8 rounds and try to go them rounds
yeah,
the full distance, build myself up to fight round title fight.
yeah, that's what I mean.
Mhm.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean. You know, because you be honest, you know, you might hit you. Like I was with the mom one time. The mom was like, I said, man, you gonna get some rounds in this time? You gonna try to work with something? He said, man, I tried. All of a sudden, he threw a hook off the jab on the dude. He said, man, dude went like this and went down. He said, oh, it went to the corner. He wasn't even trying to hit the dude hard. It just was on point and sharp. And sometimes you might hit a guy with something and it didn't even have everything on it and hurt him. But, you know, to the part where you saying 33, 34, man, I applaud you for saying that because, you know, of course, in due time we'll tell, because, you know, and everything. But I hopefully will be doing another interview with you in that time, and it'll be Jamal Harvey, multi-weight class, at least 2 week weight class, or reign for this long of a time, and now DC Maryland Hall of Famer, and now international and Gastonia Hall of Fame or whatever, you know. But that's good that you said, oh yeah, you know, 33, 34, things like that. And I honestly believe with how you fight, you may have more. Trust me, you're gonna love this when that time comes, where you could be able to retire and still know that people say, man, he retired, he still got something left in the tank. Man, he
Yeah.
ain't quitting. Nah, man, it's time for me to lead the game. I'm out.
Right. That's a part of that blank I put at the end of his name. Like Jamal Harvey he did this, multi-division world champion, did this, and left with all his faculties. He left as a
Yes.
complete fighter, and he's excelled. So now that blank, it even extends more because now you can get into coaching, training, whatever, doing the business, commentating. You know what I'm saying? That blank is forever.
Yeah, for sure. I'm trying to do big things and just stay on the right path so that I can fulfill those blanks at the end.
No, for sure. So after you go win the Olympics, go and get gold, man. Can we get you back on the podcast? Get you back on the show?
For sure.
Indeed. In studio. We get you in studio?
Yeah, you can get me in studio. I would have
Yes,
came, but I thought it was always over the phone. I would
Oh,
have
I got you.
moved some.
Yeah. Well, hey, man, you definitely welcome to come in here anytime and kick with us here at Slip Encounter. For sure.
Appreciate it.
Anything else you'd like to say before we get you up off here? We won't take up any more of your time. I know you're a busy man.
Yeah. Just thanks for having me. I enjoyed the interview.
For sure, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for coming on. You got anything, Dream?
Like I told you 2 years ago now, man, I'm proud of how you becoming a better fighter each fight and how you carry yourself outside the square. With that, I'm good. Keep doing your thing, bro. I just tip my hat to you from afar.
Thank you.
You know it, bro.
Indeed, man. So salute to you, man. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. And thank you. Thank you again.
All right. Yeah.
That was good stuff, man. That was Jamal Harvey, guys. Like you said,
HYBERNATION.
right. That's huge, man. So go into that deeper. I don't know much about that tournament. How much does it take to get to that tournament and win like he did?
Gotta win. So, okay. It's certain tournaments you gotta win to make that.
Mhm.
So it's simple yet complex. Like it's like in a Rubik's Cube, it's a square, but it has all these dots to it. Like, so you gotta win nationals in all of these different tournaments.
Right.
Like for instance, you go to national, ringside nationals like 7,000 fighters. National golden is like 3 rings. Ringside nationals like 6, 7 rings, whatever. You go to Pals, it's like 10,000 fighters in Texas. You go down there, you waiting forever to weigh in. Remember me and Sugar Wayne talked about that. We waiting forever. So once you win that, then if you make the national team, you get ranked. Now you fighting all these other countries. That's why he's in Colorado so much and staying there so much.
Right.
And then as he beats certain guys, then you qualify. A lot of times especially when I was around Gary and them, the World Championships was always in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
And once you win that, that's what he won.
Okay.
And when you make it to that, now you fight. You're the top guy in your weight class.
Mhm.
You made your national team. Now you're gonna fight. You know how you fight in nationals? You fight the best dude from Colorado, this state, that state, that state, that
Mhm.
state. Now you fighting the best guy from Eastern Europe and all of these different countries, different
Okay.
countries at this tournament now. Now
Okay.
instead of it's state versus state, it's country versus country
I got
in
you.
your weight class.
I got
And
you.
you fight these guys, and he beat those top guys in all of those other countries. And dang, easy.
That's
bro.
huge.
That's very difficult to let. The last guy I seen do it on that scale, that wasn't named Sweet G or Gary or whatever, was Boo Boo.
Oh, for real?
What man? Boo. Man. Shh. Nobody want to fight them.
They still don't.
They still don't. Man. Shh. It's bad, bro. That band was nice.
No, for sure.
Cook God, you know what they call him? What we call him?
What's
The
that?
American Cuban.
Oh, for real? Yeah, I can see it.
The American Cuban.
I can see it. Man, let's talk about that a little bit about Boo Boo, man. Cause what's going on? Why hasn't he got a fight yet? At 60 or 68, what's going on? And why are they blackballing him and keeping him on the outside, man? What's going on?
I done talked to so many people, bro, and they not telling me nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a big deal if I don't know. Like, it's 9 times out of 10 my phone's ringing or they tell man, you here, bro?
Right.
Because quiet as it's kept, people, boxing is not a barbershop. You would think it's a barbershop. No, it's a hair salon. Boxing is a hair salon. Everybody talking.
No, for sure.
Like, I never forget Herb, the great Olympic trainer, Robert Herb Martin. He said everybody talking all the time. When you don't hear something, it's bad. When you don't hear nothing,
Yeah.
it's that bad, bro. With Boo Boo, you don't hear
Nothing. When's the last time he fought? He fought the dude.
Liam Williams.
Liam
Boy who
Williams.
beat Sly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Boo Boo, unfortunately, is a victim of his own skill sets.
Mm-hmm.
That's just what it is, bro. I can't think of no other thing to say. I mean, he's willing to take the pay cuts. He's going to these fights, calling these guys out. And I hate to say it, and me and Damon have had this conversation. So many list of fighters I can name that I'm cool with that are in this category. God, I hate to say this, man. High risk, low reward, man.
Yeah.
It's so effed up, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Because it goes back to what we discussed.
You kind of get stuck.
It's not just the stuck part. Remember what we was talking about the pay-per-view thing, what the promoter said to me?
Mm-hmm.
I don't care about you, me and you love watching Boo Boo, man. Look at this surgeon. It's nice. And then the casual fans are gonna watch this guy. Oh, okay, good left hand. They don't see how beautiful it is to watch him work.
That's why we're doing what we're doing. That's why we're here on Slip and Counter. You know what I'm saying? So we can talk about these things and get them to understand the intricacies of boxing. And it's more than just knockouts and followers and pay-per-views and Rolls Royces and championship belts.
Yeah, because people don't see the pain that goes into that mess.
Right. We're doing the hard work right now.
Sad part is they waiting on Boo Boo to get old. I think that's what they waiting on, that boy to get old. And also, he just called out Chris Eubank Jr. You would think Chris Eubank Jr. take that.
You would think.
He's trying to fight Conor Ben.
Right.
Right now, they do a catchweight or whatever.
That don't make no sense.
It's because of their dad's thing. Like, keep that.
Exactly.
That it's gonna sell.
Right. Over there, I don't want to watch that. To be honest.
I would watch it just for the skill set to see what I can learn or watch or whatever. But it shouldn't be happening. But that shows just how comfortable Chris Eubank is on that side of the water. Like, he good with, you could live a comfortable life just fighting in England. Very, very comfortable life just fighting in England. Winky Wright people didn't even know who the hell Winky Wright was. My father kept on telling people, man, this is this boy, man. This boy nice. He go over there. Nobody knew when he fought Vargas, nobody knew who he was. When we went to the gym that next week, people was like, that's the boy you was talking about. Yeah, man, that nobody knew because he was fighting in England. He was fighting in Europe all the time.
Yeah.
So, and unfortunately, it's like Boo Boo, he's not gonna get the casuals.
I'm trying to think of somebody who could fight that would be casual friendly, maybe like a Jamie Manga or Hami Manga, somebody like that.
Oh, Mungia. Jamie.
Yeah. Can't pronounce that bad name to save my life.
It's just so I know Spanish, so I can help. It's Jaime, but it's basically Jamie in English.
Yeah.
And then Mungia.
No disrespect, I'm still learning.
Yeah, it's just Mungia. That's but I think I could if he could take that punch, if Boo Boo could take that punch and some of that pressure, I could see him just make it round. Once he get to round 6, fight over.
Right. That's an interesting fight though.
He gets to round 5, 6, shit is over, bro.
Yeah.
Shit's over. I got him outboxing him, but he gotta be able to take that punch.
Yeah.
Did I tell you what Saddam Ali said to me? Shout out to the great Saddam Ali, my boy. All my New York guys, y'all pushed me to do this, and now look where I'm at, man. Flat and Shim. Oh, you got Mr. Zab, all you guys, man. He said, man, it's like every time he hit, it's like, like it's like, oh my God.
Right.
And if Boo Boo could take that shot, because of course he's bigger than Saddam. Saddam was really a 40, 47 guy.
Yeah.
Before, but take that shot, you already know he can't box with no damn Boo Boo.
Nah, not at all.
It's all about how hard, strong he can hit, and how strong he is.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do that.
That's true. Real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to our local promoters and our local fights we got coming up next week. August 5th, we got Side Nations doing a fight at the Rosecroft, August 5th. August 6th, the next day, Saturday, we have Tony Jetta with Jetta Promotions fighting at the Live Casino in Hanover, Maryland. If you guys are local, if you guys are in the area, you guys can go grab your tickets, go on Instagram, visit them at Side Nation Sports, or go to Tony Jetta Promotions to visit his page to get tickets to the fight. You guys do not want to miss these fights if you're in the area. Trust me.
Side Nation.
Big shout out to Corey. Big shout out to Tony.
Man.
Yeah.
Good
both of those guys.
He was one of the reasons why me and this guy met. He was one of the reasons.
For sure. If it wasn't for Corey, I wouldn't even met dude. Yeah.
But to Tony Jetta, man, that's crazy. Like, I've been watching him when I was a little kid. He was an amateur and he turned pro. And he was in some barn burners, like local barn burners, bro. Oh my God.
Y'all don't know. Go look. Go type in Tony Jetta on YouTube, man. Tony was known to get it cracking in the ring with
bro. Tony Jetta. Do not let the fat face and all that stuff fool you. Nah, sure, that was that. He was in some wars. He was in wars that I couldn't believe he wore a 3-piece. No, he wore a 2-piece suit to the fight. And I'm like, I know you sore as hell trying to put that damn suit on. Because he was in one of them fights where you want to make sure you go to the fight in a tracksuit. That's how rough that fight was. Right. And that's just one of them I seen him in. And I'll never forget, before Jimmy Lane, next week I see him at a convention center. So he said, hey, Joey, how you feeling, baby? Daps me up or whatever. You look good, whatever. I said, man, all that aside, thank you for what you did. I will never forget what you did and what you put yourself through last week in any of your other fights. And I looked at his wife and I said, thank you for taking, because it's a lot to be a boxer's wife. It's a lot of shit that come with this that people don't talk about. And I said, thank you for what you, and she said, you could see it was like a whale. She was like, thank you. I appreciate, thank you so much.
She's a nice lady too. She is. Let me not also forget August 13th. No Excuse has another fantastic card they putting on too.
Double
headlined by Rihanna Rios. Who else? We got Sugar Wayne on the card.
My boy.
Guys, tap in. No excuse. Go check out their platforms. Go check out their social media handles and get tickets. Get tickets. Reach out to the fighters. Buy tickets. It helps out the fighters. When y'all buy tickets to these local club shows, it helps out the fighters.
Buy the tickets.
Support your local fighters, man.
Don't sit there because you know this dude and you buy, oh yeah, he from my neighborhood or whatever. You want to get a free ticket. That come out that man purse.
Talk to him.
That come out that man purse. I repeat, that comes out of this man's fight purse.
Talk to him.
Can't stand that mess. And then when it comes to the fight, and then when it's, especially at Rosecroft, and be all just to be seen and brag that they, yeah, my man, yeah, that's my man, whatever. But you want to get a free ticket.
Don't work like that, man. Support your fighters, man.
Come on,
DMV
bro.
Boxing, we coming up to a lot of fighters in this area, a lot of fighters, you know, DC, Maryland, Virginia, Baltimore. Man, we got to start doing better, supporting each other, man. This fight game is short. It's a short game. So we got to do better while we in it. And I'm going to do my part. I know Junior going to do his part. We're here at Slip McConnell. We're going to do our part. We're about to wrap up this episode, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. Follow the YouTube channel. Check out our other handles on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. And we'll be back at you guys next week.
Yo, my boy.
Purchase your track today.
Why didn't you pay for this beat though?